I'm Errol Odebashes from Johnson & Johnson.
Bill Roth, Earth 2017.
And here's our team that at least put this part together. There are additional team members who've approached us saying they want to join the team. So we invite you to join the team, so we'll tell you why. And just building, I just want to give a special thank you to Brian Swank in the back, because we had a little PowerPoint issue arise, and he worked magic, grace under pressure, so thank you, Brian. And Coanne said, invited you to co-edit, and so what I'll do here is leave a little brochure up. This is a summary of the co-editing of the new metrics of last October, and so the new metrics conference will happen again in September at the Wharton School for 2 days, September 27th and 28th. So I'll leave these up here if you're interested in new metrics. All right, we're going to have our co-presentation here. So our goal is to help reinvent Wall Street, and really it's reinventing your relationship with Wall Street, reinventing businesses' relationship with Wall Street. So here's the challenge. You have the quarterly earnings treadmill, but you also have the contrast with the long-term marathon for success. So our vision is that companies are managed not for the short-term quarterly hamster wheel, but for a marathon towards greatness. All right, so what are the barriers, Errol?
All right, so the barriers. First of all, math is hard, right? It's complicated. We get that, and that is definitely one of the major barriers. This economic system is very complicated. There are absolutely vested interests in the financial world, and we didn't get here overnight. This system has been created over time, and so there's a lot of money out there in this system, and it's definitely going to be a barrier for change. Governance, pay structures. The idea that greed is still good, that the compensation packages, that's definitely a barrier. Again, the financial barrier that we face. The concept of all be gone, you'll be gone. So, we're all here now, we make decisions that will impact us now, but who's going to be here in the long term? If you don't make those decisions based on that long term, if you may not be around there, you're not going to be impacted by that 7th generation impact. Lack of courage and leadership, and that's really because it's risky, right? If you're going to be the first one to step up and make these changes, that's a risk. And it's a risk that most companies and executives are not willing to take. Congress, the SEC are not for the people, by the people. Our government is very dysfunctional. Think about all the things that you hear about with just trying to change tax structures, and just the caps and the debt ceiling. It's really dysfunctional. And at the end of the day, people are disposable. That's really an issue that we face and a barrier to making this change. So what are we going to do about that? We have 3 solutions. 1, change financial market rules. 2nd, we're going to change the culture and incentives for executives. And 3rd, an employee revolution. Simple, right? So we can talk about the engagement piece after this too. So where are we right now? Capital gains tax, this is what it looks like. When you have the holding period, at the 2 to 3 year mark. So what we propose is that instead of the structure that's in place, if you have a holding period of 1 day, 100% tax. So you graduate all the way up to 5 years, you pay 0 capital gains tax. So that's the proposal. I understand that about 75% of all trades made are day traders. So let's get that long-term thinking in place by having this graduated system to get people to hold the stocks longer. The compensation will be vetted by the long-term holders, by employees, and stakeholders. So really focus on the long term there.
All right, so idea number 2 here is about valuing human and ecological capital on your financial statements. So hopefully somebody in the audience is good with this. So you may have be aware that Puma, the shoe company, in conjunction with PricewaterhouseCoopers and Trucost, have put together an environmental profit and loss statement. They count the mass of greenhouse gases, water, waste, and then put a financial value on it. That currently totals about 145 million euros, the way that it's calculated, life cycle value, Puma makes an annual profit of 200 million euros. So up to 75% of the annual profit is at risk through this environmental profit and loss, which is an off-balance sheet liability. And so the challenge is to report ecological value in your 10Q, your 10K, your earnings calls, and your annual report. Second opportunity is to calculate your human capital value. So Infosys, the global technology company based in India, already does this. So you can see the green line on the bottom is the on-balance sheet assets, the tables, chairs, computers. The red line is the market value. But the human capital value, which again is an off-balance sheet asset, is reported by Infosys in their annual report, and you can look that up all the way back to 1998. So our challenge is to have somebody in the room be the first in USA or Europe to actually do this, and to report this in your annual report, 10K or 10Q.
So the third idea is to create the League of Extraordinary CEOs. So this is about CEOs coming together to make that commitment. And so you don't have to go at it alone, right? So you have this club that is focused on long-term growth. So we really issue a challenge to other CEOs to form this group that will dedicate themselves to focusing on the long term.
Great. And the prize for that is a trip on a nice yacht or to a golf course or to a spa. All right, so our fourth idea is a Declaration of Independence from Wall Street. So this Declaration of Independence can be signed by employees inside a company, really to bring the attention to the CEO and invite the CEO to join in this Declaration of Independence from Wall Street to get off the quarterly earnings hamster wheel and focus on the long-term marathon towards success. So as Andrew described in our first run, you can imagine a change.org page. So we went to change.org, I typed in Wall Street, and there actually is one by Tammy running for Senate in Wisconsin. So a Democrat in Wisconsin of the 2nd District around Madison, Wisconsin, is campaigning on this issue in the coming election as she seeks to go from representative to senator. So the invitation is for all of you to help draft and craft the Declaration of Independence from Wall Street so that you can sign it and spread it. And idea 4.5, we need more empathy on Wall Street, so please turn to your neighbor, give them a group hug.
My world.